Hello and welcome to the 18 WJTS News for Monday, October 2nd, 2023. Thank you so much for tuning in this evening. I am Kaitlyn Neukam reporting. The Saturday results from the ISMA Scholastic Prelims Open Class Invitational are available. 30 bands were expected to flock to Jerry Brewer Alumni Stadium on the south side of Jasper this past Saturday, and 30 performances later, this annual invitational was finished. Here's our lineup of the inter-county band results from the September 30th competition. From the ISMA Scholastic Class B competition, the Pike Central Charger Brigade received a silver rating, the Northeast DuBois Marching Jeeps received a gold rating, and the Heritage Hills Marching Patriots received a gold rating, along with Effect Distinction, Music Distinction, and Visual Distinction. The ISMA Open Class D competition, the Tell City Marching Marksmen received a gold rating with Music Distinction, Visual Distinction, and Effect Distinction. The Springs Valley Black Hawk Brigade received a gold rating with Music Distinction, Visual Distinction, and Effect Distinction. Also, the Forest Park Marching Rangers received a gold rating along with Effect Distinction, Music Distinction, and Visual Distinction. In the ISMA Open Class C competition, the Southridge Marching Raider Band received a gold rating with Music Distinction, Visual Distinction, and Effect Distinction. In the ISMA Open Class B competition, the Jasper Marching Wildcats received a gold rating with Music Distinction, Visual Distinction, and Effect Distinction. The Jasper Marching Wildcats also received the highest score of all 30 bands in attendance for this invitational competition on Saturday, with current brass instructor Patrick Keeley claiming that this performance may be the highest score that the band has ever received for this competition. October 7th is another round of the Indiana Marching Band competitions in the ISMA circuit. ISMA regionals will be taking place separated by classes at these locations this Saturday. The Lafayette Jefferson High School, Center Grove High School, Evansville Central High School, and Carroll High School. To see the full schedule, band competition locations, and more, please visit our website, WJTS.tv. The Pike County Sheriff's deputies were called to the scene of a motorcycle versus combine accident sometime on Saturday. According to reports, one person involved is dead. Officials say the accident was located on County Road 300 East in Winslow. The deceased person has not been identified at this time. A Lawrence County man was arrested on child sex abuse-related charges. Detective Robert White of the Indiana State Police Internet Crimes Against Children Unit received 2 cyber tip reports with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children concerning the possible production and possession of child pornography. Detective White reviewed the cyber tip reports and obtained a residential search warrant. ISP ICAC task force members, along with officers from the Lawrence County Sheriff's Department, served the search warrant to 30-year-old Bryant Fish of Mitchell. Fish was arrested and booked into the Lawrence County Jail and is facing charges of 4 counts of child molest, 4 counts of production of child pornography, victim under the age of 12, 6 counts of distribution of child pornography, where the victim was under the age of 12, and 6 counts of possession of child pornography, again, victim under the age of 12. In the course of this investigation, detectives and White identified and rescued 3 children who were believed to be at imminent risk of harm. The Indiana Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force encourages Hoosiers to report online exploitation, solicitation, and enticement-type crimes against children to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children website can be accessed through the ICAC Task Force website, in.gov/ISP/ICACTF. To report a crime with your child as a victim involving the internet or other electronic means, contact your local Indiana law enforcement agency. A Gibson County man was arrested on battery charges. The Gibson County Central Dispatch received a 911 call reporting a disturbance in the 10,000 block of East 700 South near Mackey. When a deputy spoke to witnesses at the residence, they alleged that 27-year-old Dylan Slayton of Princeton had battered a subject and injured an animal at the residence before fleeing. After completing the investigation, a deputy was able to locate Slayton near Princeton. Slayton was placed into custody into custody and transported to the Gibson County Jail, where he was charged with domestic battery and cruelty to an animal. He remains in the Gibson County Jail on a $750 bond. A Ferdinand man was arrested on rape charges after a recent investigation. On Wednesday of last week, Indiana State Police Jasper Detective Patrick Stinson initiated a criminal investigation after receiving information from the Perry County Sheriff's Office concerning allegations of rape and sexual battery with a 23-year-old mentally deficient female. The investigation revealed that 26-year-old Austin Lemcooler of Ferdinand had allegedly transported the mentally deficient female to a wooded area in Siberia and forced sexual acts upon her. The allegations took place in Perry County. After reviewing the investigation, the Perry County Prosecutor's Office issued a search warrant for Lemcooler's residence on Friday, September 29th. After probable cause, he was found during the search and Lemcooler was arrested. Lemcooler is currently being held without bond and is facing charges of rape and sexual battery. The Indiana State Police are investigating a shooting in Marengo. On Thursday of last week at approximately 6:25 a.m., the Crawford County Sheriff's Department was dispatched to a domestic situation on the 200th block of South Murphy Street in Marengo. Prior to officers' arrival, 23-year-old Skylar Frazier was shot at the residence and fled the scene by vehicle. Frazier was later involved in a motor vehicle crash in Harrison County and was transported to U of L Hospital due to a gunshot wound. 52-year-old Larry Scherger was on the scene of the initial domestic when officers arrived and was transported to Harrison County Hospital due to injury. This case is still under investigation by ISP detectives. Upon completion of the investigation, the case will be presented to the Crawford County Prosecutor's Office for review for any criminal charges. Governor Eric Holcomb is directing flags in Indiana to be flown at half-staff. This direction by Governor Holcomb is in honor and remembrance of Senator Dianne Feinstein per President Biden. Flags should be lowered to half-staff statewide as a mark of respect for Senator Feinstein and her service as a United States Senator. Flags should be lowered immediately until a date of internment is released. Governor Holcomb is asking businesses and residents in Indiana to lower their flags as well. For almost a year and a half now, the St. Meinrad Arch Abbey Library Gallery has been closed for renovations, but now is the time for a rebirth. The gallery will reopen on October 7th with an exhibit of prints by St. Louis artist William Frank. The exhibit, entitled Via Dolorosa and Drawn Small, will run from October 7th through December 4th of this year. This exhibit brings together two bodies of the artist's work. In his studio practice, Frank creates works designed for a specific site and community as the Via Dolorosa series. The 14 stations in this series depict the chief scenes of Christ's suffering and death. Drawn Small exemplifies more personal work that involves his immediate family. For more information, call 812-357-6401, that is 6401, or visit the Arch Abbey's website at stmeinrad.edu. This exhibit is free and open to the public. Those wishing to view the exhibit may want to arrive at least 30 minutes before closing time. That's been a look at your news here on 18 WJTS. We'll be right back with your weather forecast.